Hello everyone. I hope all of you are doing great. This course is designed specifically for beginners. Nowadays, almost every field of technology is connected with programming. Whether you want to become a software engineer, AI engineer, data scientist, web developer, cybersecurity expert, or automation engineer, programming is one of the most important skills to learn. Among all programming languages, Python is considered one of the easiest and most powerful languages. That's why universities around the world teach Python as the first programming language. Okay, so in this lecture, we are going to learn what Python is, why Python is so popular, history of Python, features of Python, advantages, real world applications, Python installation, and finally, we will write our very first Python program. I have one request before we begin. Don't just watch this lecture like a movie. Open your notebook or laptop and practice every example with me. Programming is a practical skill. The more you practice, the better programmer you'll become. So, without wasting any more time, let's begin our journey into the world of Python. Let's start with the most basic question. What is Python? Python is a high level interpreted programming language. Now, many beginners get scared after hearing these technical words. Let's understand each term one by one. What is programming language? Suppose you want to talk to your friend. You use English or Hindi because both of you understand that language. Similarly, computers only understand machine language, which consists of zeros and ones. Humans cannot easily write programs in machine language. So, programmers use programming languages like Python, Java, C++, or JavaScript. These languages act as a bridge between humans and computer. Now let's understand high level language. A high level language is close to a human language. Look at this example. Imagine I ask you to display the message hello students. In Python we simply write print bracket. Now let's understand interpreted language. Some programming languages first convert the whole program into machine code and then execute it. Python works differently. Python reads and executes the code line by line. This approach makes debugging much easier because if an error occurs, Python immediately tells us where the mistake is. That's one of the biggest reasons why beginners love Python. Another amazing thing about Python is its readability. If you look at the Python code carefully, you will notice it almost reads like English. That's exactly what Guido van Rossum wanted when he designed Python. Easy to read, easy to write, and easy to understand. So now you might ask, there are hundreds of programming languages in the world. Why should we learn Python? Excellent question. Let's discuss. Reason number one, easy to learn. Python has a very simple syntax. Compare this. In some languages, printing a message requires several lines of code. In Python, only one line. That means beginners spend more time solving problems instead of memorizing complicated syntax. Reason number two, used everywhere. Python isn't limited to one industry. It is used in artificial intelligence, machine learning, data science, web development, cybersecurity, automation, game development, robotics, cloud computing, Internet of Things. Even NASA uses Python in some of its software systems. Google uses Python. Netflix uses Python, Instagram uses Python, Spotify uses Python. So, when you learn Python, you are learning a skill used by the world's biggest companies. Reason number three, huge community. Imagine you are writing code and suddenly you get an error. Don't worry, millions of Python developers have probably faced the same error before. That's why you will find thousands of tutorials, YouTube videos, Stack Overflow discussions, GitHub projects, and official documentation online. The community is one of the Python's biggest strengths. As a beginner, that's a huge advantage. History of Python. Every programming language has a story. Python also has an interesting history. Python was created by Guido van Rossum in the late 1980s. The first official version was released in 1991. Many students ask me, why is it called Python? The name has nothing to do with the snake. Guido named it after a British comedy show called Monty Python's Flying Circus, which he enjoyed watching. His vision was simple: programming should be fun, programming should be readable, programming should be simple. Initially, Python had two versions, Python 2 and Python 3. Python 2 has now reached its end of life. Today, everyone uses Python 3 because it offers better performance, improved security, and many modern features. So, whenever you are learning Python, always install Python 3. Now, let's understand the main features that make Python unique. First, easy syntax. Python looks very similar to English. That makes learning much easier. Second, interpreted language. Python executes code one line at a time. This helps us detect errors quickly. Third, high level languages. Python automatically manages memory. You don't have to worry about complex hardware operations. Fourth, object oriented programming. Don't worry if you don't know what object oriented programming means. We will learn it later. For now, just remember that it helps us organize large software projects efficiently. Fifth, platform independent. A Python program written on Windows can also run on Linux and Mac OS with very few changes. That's called portability. Finally, large standard library. Python already provides thousands of built-in modules. Instead of writing from scratch, we can simply import libraries and use them. For example, want to work with maths? Import the math library. Want to work with dates? Import datetime. Want to create graphs? Use matplotlib. These libraries save developers a huge amount of time. So now that we know Python is and its features, let's understand why millions of people choose Python as their first programming languages. There are several advantages of Python, but today we will focus on the most important ones. First advantage, beginner friendly. Python is considered one of the easiest programming languages in the world. Imagine you are learning to drive a car. Would you start with the Formula One racing car? Of course not. You would start with a simple car that's easy to control. Similarly, Python is that beginner friendly language. Its syntax is clean, simple, and easy to understand. For example, to display a message, we only write print welcome to Python. That's all. There are no unnecessary symbols or complex syntax. Second advantage, less code. One amazing thing about Python is that You can accomplish a lot with a very little code. Let me give you a comparison. Suppose you want to print the number from 1 to 10. In many programming languages, we may find several lines of setup. In Python, we simply write for I in range 1, 11 and we print I. Just two lines. Less code means fewer mistakes and faster development. That's why companies love Python. Third advantage, huge community support. Suppose you are writing code at midnight and suddenly you get an error. Don't panic. Thousands of developers have probably faced the same error before. Python has one of the largest programming communities in the world. You can find solutions on Stack Overflow, GitHub, official Python documentation, YouTube, online courses. This makes learning much easier. Fourth advantage, high industry demand. Python isn't just for students, it's one of the most demanded programming languages in the job market. Companies like Google, Amazon, Microsoft, Netflix, Instagram, Spotify, and many startups use Python. If you're planning a career in AI, machine learning, data science, web development, automation, software development, then Python is one of the best languages to learn. So, by investing your time in Python today, you are investing in your future career. Now, let's answer one very common question. Students often ask, where is Python actually used? The answer is almost everywhere. Let's explore some exciting applications. Number 1, AI. Artificial intelligence or AI is one of the hottest technologies today. Whenever you talk to chatbot like ChatGPT, Google Gemini or any virtual assistant, Python is often one of the languages used behind the scenes. Python provides powerful libraries like that help computers understand human language, recognize images and make intelligent decisions. Number 2, machine learning. Machine learning is a branch of AI where computers learn from data. For example, suppose a school has data for thousands of students. Using machine learning, we can predict student performance, exam results, attendance trends, placement chances. Python libraries like Scikit, Scikit-learn make this task much easier. Number 3, data science. Every day companies generate huge amounts of data. Banks, hospitals, schools, e-commerce websites, social media platforms. Someone needs to analyze all this data. That's where data scientists use Python. Libraries such as Pandas help analyze and visualize information. Web development. Python is also used to create websites. Frameworks like Django and Flask help developers build professional websites and web applications. Instagram, for example, uses Django. Automation. This is one of my favorite applications. Suppose every day you have to rename 500 files. Would you do it manually? Probably not. Instead, you can write a Python script that finishes the work in seconds. Python can automate sending emails, organizing files, reading Excel sheets, creating reports, downloading files. Automation saves time and reduces human errors. So whenever someone asks you where is Python used, you can confidently say almost every technology field uses Python in some way. So now let's understand the tools we need before writing Python programs. Many beginners get confused between an interpreter, an IDE and a code editor. Let's understand them one by one. Python interpreter. The Python interpreter is like a translator. Remember earlier we discussed the computers only understand machine language? The interpreter translates your Python code into machine language and executes it. One interesting feature is that Python executes the program line by line. For example, if you type print hello, the interpreter immediately shows the output. That's why beginners love using the Python interpreter for practice. IDE. IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. Think of an IDE as a complete office for programmers. It contains code editor, error checking, debugging tools, auto completion, file management. Popular IDEs include PyCharm, Visual Studio Code, IDLE, Spider. Among this, Visual Studio Code is one of the most popular because it's free, lightweight, and supports many programming languages. Code editors. A code editor is simpler than an IDE. It mainly allows you to write code. Examples include VS Code, Sublime Text, Notepad. As beginners, I recommend Visual Studio Code because it's powerful yet easy to use. So before we start writing Python programs, we need to set up our Python environment. The installation process is very simple. First, download and install the latest version of Python 3 from the official Python website. After installing Python, we need a code editor where we can write and run our programs. For beginners, I recommend using Visual Code Studio Code, which is lightweight and easy to use. After installing VS Code, install the Python extension inside it. Once everything is installed, you can check whether Python is working properly by opening the terminal and typing python slash not slash python version. So once everything is installed, you can check whether Python is working properly by opening the terminal and typing Python version. If the Python version appears, your setup is ready. That's it. Now we can start writing our Python programs. Finally, it's time to write our very first Python program. Every programmer starts with something called the Hello World program. Let's write it together. Print Hello World. Now let's understand the line carefully. First we have the word print. Print is a built-in Python function. Its job is to display information on the screen. Next, inside the brackets we write hello world. Anything written inside the quotation marks is called a string. A string simply means text. When we run this program, Python displays hello world. That's it. You have officially written your first Python program. Congratulations. It may look like a very small program, but every software engineer, every AI developer, every data scientist, and every experienced programmer once started with this exact program. This is the very first step in your programming journey. As we move ahead in this course, we will learn how to build much more powerful programs using the same concepts. So don't skip practice. One, open your laptop, type this program yourself, run it and make sure it works. Programming is not about watching, it is about doing. And with that, we have successfully completed the introduction to Python.